Hello everybody, welcome back to another Sunday breakdown with me, James Alcott. You can see me every single day pretty much on the Ball Street channel now because we've switched it up a little bit. Let me know if you can hear me because I'm doing this again from home, so it's always a bit nerve-wracking, so let me know. Get involved in the comments, come have a chat with me because that's the whole point of this show, is we want to hear more from you guys. We want to hear what your feelings are after a game. And we want to know the truth, because we're getting to that point now in the season. We're getting close to November, so people are going to start losing their jobs. It's a simple fact. It's happened year after year, because once you get to that 10-game mark, if you look at the bottom of the table at the moment, you've got Crystal Palace who have already changed their squad, their manager, sorry. You've got Everton and Ronald Koeman, who of course we're going to talk about in depth down there. A lot of pressure on him, a lot of pressure on Slaven Bilic, a lot of pressure on Mark Hughes as well for not winning against Bournemouth. Bournemouth down there as well, but that doesn't seem to be that same kind of pressure on Eddie Howe, rightfully so in my opinion. But let me know about your team and how you feel you've done so far after 9 games, because it's starting to get to a point where the table is starting to kind of form properly now. You're seeing who's going to struggle this season and who's going to have a decent one. And one team is definitely Everton. We're going to talk about that. Arsenal fans, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about that away victory? I think you were all pretty nervous going into it. A lot of trepidation for both teams. But you came away playing pretty well. Or did you play pretty well? Or were you just given almost a free ride from an Everton side that looked knackered, in my opinion? Let me know. I'm going to go to the comments very soon. But first thing I want to do is make an announcement I'm very, very proud of, actually. Ball Street is going to be partnering one of our shows with the charity called Calm, which is a campaign against living miserably. It's a very, very important charity. It does a lot of good work for guys. Apparently, you know, it's the biggest, suicide is the biggest killer of men under the age of 45. And Ball Street feel like we need to be doing something to kind of get that message out that if you are feeling a little bit low and you need someone to talk to, then there are people there that you can go and talk to. So, Social Club, every single Monday is going to be in association with the Calm charity. We're very, very proud of it. And so we'll have some information on if you need to go and talk to the guys at Calm, if you want to, or if you just need someone to have a chat with, then I'll put the link to that in the description on this video, but you'll be seeing that every single Monday on Social Club, because that's the whole point of Social Club, is people getting together and having a chat. So just wanted to announce that, because we're something we're quite pleased about and quite proud about. So let's start off with the biggest result, I think. I think it's got to be the mounting pressure on Everton after losing 5-2 against Arsenal in the early game today. Started off really well for them, although, I mean, even at that point, it looked as though Everton were kind of backs against the walls a little bit. Arsenal were looking good, cutting through them quite easily. They were trying to get about them, Everton, and they got that goal from Wayne Rooney. Cracking goal from outside the box. What I found quite noticeable was how tired the Everton side looked. A couple of people who were here early doors, let me find them, made some interesting comments. It'd be interesting to know what people think about this. So this is Adrian Link. Everton started 9 British players. Of course, they're bottom of the table. I mean, they're not bottom of the table, but how do Everton expect to win with that British back 5 of shit? This is an interesting talking point, because I think most English fans want to see those guys who you can connect with in your team. And Everton have certainly done that, bringing in the players that have, Michael Keane, Wayne Rooney. You've got a lot of good young English players there as well, or British players at least. But that said, are we kind of giving those players a bit too much credit? Because the back 5 of Jordan Pickford as well, for me, he should be doing better with that Monreal save. He needs to be palming that away. I know he's young, but he needs to do a little bit better with that. And the back 4, of course, are conceding goals. So do we give too much credit to these English players? Let me know in the comments. Let me dive into the comments then. Let me know what you're thinking about with your team. Let's get in there. Have I got one? Oh, I've just realised I've got one of my Newcastle 1. Sorry, mate. I've got that wrong. On one of my things, Newcastle 1-1-0, not Crystal Palace. My apologies. Maxim, Baines passed it. Williams is a loose cannon. Mike Keane was woeful today. Don't know the bloke playing left back. That's actually your thoughts on it. The Liverpool backline, I think both Merseyside teams, the backlines are struggling. Seen individual errors for Liverpool against Tottenham today. 4-1 defeat away from home, and the damning stat that they kept bringing up in that game was the amount of away goals that have been conceded by Liverpool this season. 15 away league goals. The next best, if you want to call it that, is Crystal Palace with 12. What do you think about Liverpool's back line? I think, obviously they were going for Van Dijk in the summer. That didn't work out, and you've got some great players going forward, but what you saw today in that Spurs side and the comparison between the two, and it shows how important it is your back four. If you're not conceding goals, you're giving yourself a chance. And you've got a back four there in the Spurs side. Certainly Alderweireld and Vertonghen. Dyer is a great base in front of him. They are so strong and steady. They do not concede many goals, and that gives you a great chance. Then down the other end of the field, you've got Mo Salah scoring goals, doing brilliantly well this season, but you don't seem to have that out-and-out striker who bangs goal after goal after goal. Harry Kane scoring 2 goals again today. The first goal was superb. Very aware, showing like he's got a bit more pace these days. And then the finish to go around Mignolet I thought was fantastic. That's another thing that Liverpool don't seem to have. And what we're seeing now, 9 games in, is Spurs are getting beyond that Wembley hoodoo because they are strong and solid at the back. Wonderful pass from Jordan Henderson to get Mo Salah that chance to get them back into the game. But apart from that, I think Liverpool were pretty resolute. Spurs were pretty resolute. They were battling Liverpool to try and get back into the game. But they look so solid, Spurs, that I wonder, are they the closest rival to Man City to do anything this season? Let's have a look and see what you think. Romana Tisso Shaharan. Sorry if I got that wrong. Liverpool are terrible defensively. Adam Floyd, Tuchel for Everton is a baseless shout. I guess there's not huge rumours there. I think there's always that thing where... Well, let me know. I mean, the thing with Koeman is you go... Look at his next few games. These are quite interesting. They're winnable games that he's got coming up. Leicester, Watford, Crystal Palace, Southampton, probably West Ham, Huddersfield. All of those before that big Merseyside derby in December. The problem you've got is it's those Europa League games in between. And you've got a side there that, in my opinion, looks very, very tired. So to get yourselves back up and running again, when you're playing Leighton Baines again and again and again, when you're playing these guys again and again, they look knackered now. So changing the manager, I'm not sure it's going to give that team any more motivation or any more quality, really, at this moment in time. The one thing you've got to say about this, which is strange for Ronald Koeman's side, is tactically they look very poor. And the midfield just seems to have no structure at all. Arsenal found it way too easy to get through them. And Idrissa Gueye, let me know if you think about that sending off. I put it in the comments on this chat. After about 40 minutes, I was saying Idrissa Gueye will do well to get to 90 minutes. And lo and behold, he was having a bit of afters with the referee every single time the game was going on. And every time he gave a free kick away. But quite quickly, you could see that there's a booking coming in. And then the tackle he's done on Xhaka for the sending off, it's not helpful at all for them. There's only so much Ronald Koeman can do. Let's have a look at the comments, see what you're saying here. Adam Floyd, Everton need a defensive manager. Matt Maguire, Liverpool's front office is so bad. I'm not sure what front office is so bad. I don't know what that means. Let's go. Callum 96, we can't win any games right now. If we can string 2 passes together, we can't even string 2 passes together, sorry. Adam Floyd, again, they have far too many number 10s. Another comment that Gary Neville was saying in the commentary, which is be interesting to know what you guys think about this, is that they've got a lot of number 10s. They've got a lot of those guys who are decent on the ball, but should they have invested far more heavily, instead of buying another player like Chamberlain, for example, should they have gone and got a centre-back to push these other guys, and someone who they knew could be solid. Or, of course, a left-back as well. Moreno is not up to it. I think everyone's known that for a long time. I think you've been better off playing Milner at the back there and someone else in centre midfield. I know Milner doesn't like doing it, but he's a lot steadier than Moreno. The back four is a complete mess for Liverpool. And something's got to change. The problem is, it's a long way till January. A long, long way to January. And I haven't seen Klopp look that despondent in a long, long time. 4-1 victory for Spurs, though. Absolutely amazing for them to do that. Incredible stuff. Arsenal. You've got to be pleased with that. You've got to be pleased with that result. It'd be interesting to know what you think about this, Arsenal fans, because look, Brad Bamford, let's get into this. Arsenal's squad depth is underrated. They changed their entire 11 in midweek. And I think that's what you saw. That was the difference today, is that, as I say, getting to 40 minutes, Everton looked really, really tired, in my opinion. Arsenal looked like they were just kind of in second gear. And then in the second half, just tore them to pieces, really. Ozil and Sanchez, obviously the two main men for Arsenal, looks like one or two could go in January. And Ozil, I think what you'll see with him is the kind of narrative around if he's had a good game or a bad game will be dependent on, one, if he scores, two, if Arsenal win the game. On this occasion, I don't think he worked any harder than he does normally. He was floating through the game for certain periods of it. But one comment I saw, which was I thought fit well, was he was at his graceful best. I think that's about right. When you are graceful like someone like Ozil is there's going to be moments where it's going to be frustrating because he hasn't got that oomph. But on other occasions, he's going to show that bit of quality to pick out the pass or to finish off that goal like he did with that great run and that intelligence that he showed. And it's going to make the difference. So he is a good player for them. Is he their talisman? I'm not sure he's got enough. As I say, he hasn't got that oomph. Graceful will maybe only get you so far, especially in the Premier League. Especially when you're kind of doing it on your own to a point, because Arsenal don't seem to have the fluidity that a Man City have. But let me know what you think about Ozil and his performance today. Let's dive back in again. Aaron Balladin, Ozil put on a show for potential buyers, unfortunately. Interesting. Ryan Goodwin, losing to Huddersfield is embarrassing. It's ridiculous. Let's get onto that one. Man United, I called this. I've got to say, I called this earlier in the week. I mean, I don't get things right very often, but on this occasion, I did. Very, very pleased with this. And I did see it coming because Man United were poor last week. However way you want to shape it up, and they did have injuries, but they didn't play very well. And when you are shutting up shop and being defensive and being resolute like that, that's fine, but you're going to struggle to push on from that and start to dominate a game because it's not like a switch. You can't just do that. And you saw that in Jose Mourinho's comments and that first half performance against Huddersfield. Jose Mourinho said himself that there was one team that was out there to win the game. There was another team that was playing. Well, they had a worse attitude than they could have if it was a friendly. That's how bad it was, apparently, according to him. I said it last week. I'll say it again. I don't see them getting anywhere near the title this year. I don't think they have enough game changers. I think they're too negative in the way that they play, and without someone like Pogba, they're in a bit of a mess. I think they're struggling there. They will grind out wins, but there'll be games against the lesser teams. I don't think there's going to be. They're not going to be able to plough over the teams like they did earlier in the season, in my opinion, because they themselves are playing so many games now. Their squad is starting to get not to the bare bones, but it gets affected and you get tired, and winning those games isn't as easy as it was before when you play teams like Huddersfield who are so excited to play that game and haven't played a game in midweek. Brad Bamford, Manchester United lacks squad depth. Queen of Stamford, 36% ball possession. That's what I call parking the bus. The Barra Cabani, I'll tell you what the video is. So go onto the Fan League YouTube channel. I'm one of their pundits, bizarrely, and I do my picks for the week, and I picked Huddersfield to win this game. I was pretty happy with myself. Yaya Sanogo, Ozil was good. He didn't pass sideways, and he does sometimes. He wanted to go forward, and he created chances. Larry, the cameraman, United have a similar season to Chelsea. Top 4, but nothing spectacular. Rasmus A, Mourinho is a winner version of LVG. Too defensive for my liking, even if he wins titles. I hope he will leave when his contract expires. Interesting. Nietzsche Preacher, Spurs potential title challengers. I think they're the closest thing that Man City are going to get. I said it last week. I'm going to stick with it, certainly at this moment in time. Man City will win the league by 10 points at least. It just seems very obvious to me. When you beat a team like Napoli in midweek, that's a good Napoli side playing in top form. And they have so much cutting edge. Burnley were going to be a tough test, and they were resolute. The shape was good. You know what you're going to get with Burnley. They're going to be switched on. They're going to put their bodies on the line. But even they couldn't hang in there long enough to keep Man City at bay. And 3-0 was probably almost a good result for Burnley. They'd probably walk away with that going, all right, I'll take that one on the chin. Jackson HP. Lukaku looking isolated past few games. Yeah, I think you saw that as well with some of the analysis on Match of the Day. They were sort of suggesting that the work rate wasn't there, and he was, as you say, a little bit isolated. He needs those guys around him. Getting Pogba back is going to make a massive difference to them, because he is that driving force and he can be that guy who works alongside Lukaku. I think the other problem is that they're putting all their sort of eggs in that Lukaku basket. That could actually... Someone like Zlatan coming back could be an absolute godsend for them, just so that they've got another option. They don't have to play Lukaku game after game after game, because once again, we are getting to that period of time now where fatigue is starting to set in. There isn't that sort of that vigour of the start of a season. You know what battle you're in now, and you need to be switched on. And just playing Lukaku every single game. And look, I know he's young, I know he's in great shape, and he has been scoring a lot of goals, and he will continue to score loads of goals for Man United. He's a fantastic signing for them. But he needs a break now and again. Every single player does, I think, at this level of football nowadays. So as soon as Zlatan comes back, which is apparently before the end of the year, which is incredible, the better for them. Barakabani, what's your top 4? What's my top 4? My top 4 at the moment has got to be Man City, Spurs, Chelsea, Man United. I think when Kante comes back, you've got him and Morata. Kante makes such a difference to Chelsea. So when he gets back, I think that could be the difference between them and Man United. I might be completely wrong with this whole thing with Man United. It'd be interesting to know what you guys think. I'll keep reading these comments in a second. But it doesn't fit for me. It's not there for me yet. You've got to be, in this league, you've got to be too good. And I know it's a really easy thing for me to say, but when you look at Man City play, they look too good for teams. Spurs, same kind of thing a lot of the time. I think, to be honest, though, I think Man City are just far and away the best. Jackson HP, Mkhitaryan 2 has faded away a little. Good point. Ruben Gregory, time to praise Stones for his passing and throwing away these odd mistakes he's had in him. I think that comes down to confidence as well. You can see that in that team, that literally every single player on that pitch is comfortable on the ball. The goalkeeper as well. And that does help. I mean, what's going to be tough for him is going from such a great side in Man City, same with Raheem Sterling, and then moving into that England squad and seeing if he can still do the same things, because you'll look for someone and they won't be there. You won't get the same options that you will have at Man City because you won't play the same way, and then those little mistakes might creep in again, but we'll wait and see. But he does look comfortable there in that Man City side. Right, what else have we got here? Lawrence's daddy, hello mate, hope you're well. Let's talk about Leicester City. Good win for them, bouncing back. Michael Appleton, first game in charge for Leicester City. Lawrence's daddy is saying, Leicester going to push for 7th now. We battered Swansea. You looked like you did, and Mahrez looked like he was kind of back to his best. A lot of open spaces for Leicester to exploit yesterday, which I thought was... I guess if you're Swansea, you've got to look and try and win those games, and therefore you've got to be a bit more aggressive in what you're doing. But I think you're playing into Leicester's hands a little bit there yesterday in the way that they played, and Leicester could have been 4 or 5 up from what I saw and from the stats. I think they'll probably finish around mid-table. The bottom line, though, is whoever comes in, if they don't win 6 games at any point in their career, are they going to be out the door as well? And is that what you want as a club? And these players that you've got leaders there, which I think there's that grit of those leaders. People like Wes Morgan, people like even all the guys who won the league, Albrighton, Danny Simpson. When they are called into question, not the manager, they do seem to respond. And you saw that yesterday with a great performance. You saw it against Liverpool last season and when Shakespeare's games after that. But what happens to Leicester once those guys go? I think the recruitment's going to be crucial, because if you're going to be this flippant with managers and just get rid of them, then if you don't have guys who respond to it, then you're going to be in trouble pretty quick. What are the last few things I wanted to talk about today? Let's have a look. Aguero, 177 goals. I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments. Aguero, is he top 3 in the Premier League strikers of all time? I was thinking about it myself earlier today. 177 goals in 296 games, incredible return, but he's been playing for a team that's been dominating games. Who is above him? Let me know in the comments. Who is above Aguero in the Premier League all-time strikers list? Shearer, I think I would definitely put him up there. After that, I'm not sure who else is above him. But let me know in the comments, just as we're running through these last few bits and pieces. I apologise again for getting the score wrong. It's a busy Sunday for me. So Newcastle with another good win. I had Crystal Palace down to win that one. Maybe that's why I put 1-0 down there. But they've done great there. Done so well. Snatched the game right at the end there. And it's those important 1-0 victories at home against teams around you that are going to make your season a bit more exciting. Really, you've got to be so excited to be a Newcastle fan right now. It's starting to move in the right direction. And I think if you get the money, and here's something Garth Crooks said, actually, this is amazing. Garth Crooks said Newcastle can win the title with the right resources. Quick to say that, but you got your headline out there, and I'm sure that'll be on BBC Sport tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, God, they're nowhere near that. Of course they aren't. But what you're going to see with that squad as well is you've got a manager you know is going to stick around, regardless of any people who are going to come into the club. And they're also going to know that there's going to be some money that's going to come in as well. So they need to step up their game if they want to have a future at Newcastle. Let's have a look at the comments. Adam Floyd, soldiers lost in battle. Lindelof's career after joining United. He had a stinker, didn't he, yesterday? Strikers who are better than Aguero. This is interesting. Drogba, Queen of Stamford, saying. Stingers says Shearer, Rooney, Drogba. Only Shearer above Aguero. No one else says Jut Kungrilla. Joe Lucas, Thierry Henry. Yeah, I think maybe Thierry Henry is above him. Sorry, guys. Yeah, those seem to be there. Shearer, Henry, Drogba, Rooney with a shout. I'm not sure if Rooney's better than Aguero. Definitely not. Rasmus A, is it? It's already on BBC Sport. Garth Crooks making stupid comments. That doesn't surprise me at all. Okay, so that's your Sunday breakdown for today. Let me know. I'm going to be in the comments most of the evening now. I want to talk about your team. Let me know what you think about your team's performance this weekend, where they sit after 9 games, and if you're happy with that. Ronald Koeman, can he survive? Is he going to survive this season? And not from a point of like you want him to go, but do you think the board will get rid of him? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you get involved there, because I want to have a chat with you guys. That's me done for another Sunday breakdown. I hope you've enjoyed it. Been trialing out this new video, so if you have enjoyed it, then you can do me a favour. Do 2 things for me. Subscribe to the Bull Street channel, because we'll be doing lives every 10 AM every morning, every weekday morning. But also it's a great way of me knowing that you're enjoying this video, and we can also start to get other people doing this as well, not just myself, maybe Paul, maybe Ped, maybe Flav, maybe Sam, whoever. So hit that like button as well, just so I know that you are enjoying the video. Comment below with any feedback that you've got and what you think about the weekend's games. And I will see you tomorrow bright and early on the Ball Street channel. Hit that subscribe